Hi, this is Christine Thompson with Barrett and Warner, lead agent on the CT team. I'm back at you a little bit later in the month, but still I am with you to give you an update on what's happening in the market and the real estate market of Naperville, Illinois. I am using. You've got all my information on the screen here in case you're thinking of buying, selling, or just want continued information about the real estate market in Naperville, Illinois. You know where to reach me. And of course, if you're looking for information in a different town, I do work the western suburbs. You can still reach out to me and I'd be happy to get you information. So for now, let's just jump right into the information because that's what you're here for, not to be watching me. So let's jump in and I hope you enjoy the information. Just so you know, all this information is exactly what I show every time. So if you want to know what's happening in the area, you can always jump onto my site every month and you can get this information and it's recorded. You can just subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living in Naperville, and you'll find the show. You can always go back and find it if you can't catch it live. Anyways, all right, so all my information, let's jump in here. So Naperville for detached residential homes, when we closed out in August, this is what was showing for numbers. We had 166 new listings, 38 private, which I hear a good majority of them. Owners do allow showings. I heard one time 95% of them, which to me was actually kind of surprising. I thought it was like half. But when I was doing a seminar with the MLS board, one of the members said that about 95% of private showings are showing, or it is showing that sellers are allowing buyers to access before they go live on the market. For you buyers out there, you know, I hope you're perking up your ears on that one because that means only agents have access to these private listings. So get yourself hooked up with a really good aggressive agent that is going to be really monitoring the private listings and maybe knocking on doors and even surpassing this number. Under contract, 110 went under contract, so we can see buyers are out there shopping and going under contract. 125 closed. Only 7 homes had a price change. Now this is the collectively for August. Let's take a look at September. In September, 135 new ones still up there. Under contract a little lower. Still, we don't have any price changes shown here, or it's just way too small to even show it because there were only 5 that expired in the month of September. That's really, really low. And less than that had price changes, so maybe just 1 or 2. That's amazing, and that's fantastic for you sellers, perking up your ears, that you can hear that when you're pricing it right, looks like most are now. People are starting to really listen to their agents. Get it priced right. And you're not going to be expired, you're not going to have to cancel, and you're not going to have to do a price change, which is fantastic. That means you should be getting closer to list price. But let's take a look at the numbers and find out. We are also seeing 95 homes closed. So what's going under contract is closing, not having lending problems, which means not having problems with appraisals. Okay, so August, we saw the number go up 7.4% year over year for average sale price. So we can see just from this graph line here, the number is it's very consistent going up. We had a little blip over here, but this is earlier in 2023 when people were still thinking that the rates would go down and then buyers gave up. Or maybe, you know, I don't have the exact months here, but that's probably summer month, early summer months, late spring, and people slow down a little bit. All right, so 7.4% up year over year in August, up 7.7% year over year for closing out September. So numbers do consistently rise. Let's see, the average was 670, now it's 675, 676, went up about $6,000 in 1 month in home values. I was just talking to a buyer today, and they had the impression that they should wait for home prices to go down. There is nothing in this line indicating that prices are going to go down. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, yeah, well, it's eventually got to go down. It can't just keep going up. Well, watch all of my old shows, recent shows, and I've shared in the past, and I'm going to say it again because it has not changed. that economists are looking at the demographics of age groups and income levels. And the millennials we got a lot of millennials, a lot, and they are all coming of that age and income that they want to be purchasing homes. We don't have enough rooftops built in America to keep up with the growing number of households in America. So we need builders to be out there building, and economists are saying they need to be building about 1 million homes a year to try and catch up to the demand in about 7 years. Not right now, in about 7 years, to catch up to the housing demand. They're not building 1 million homes a year. They're behind, way behind. So there is no indication because of the demand in the market, that's going to keep pushing the number up. Historically, the only time home prices have gone down is when there was a major financial distress on home mortgages. Not in the economy, in home mortgages. We'll get to that later. So just something to start, keep thinking about. All right, let's look at average market time. Market time has gone up. What that's saying is buyers are getting a little more finicky. They're not going to just say, I'll take the first house that comes on the market. They are willing to wait a little bit because they don't have a super low interest rate to drive them to say, we better do this before the rate goes up. So they're not as anxious to close on a property. So the market time is taking a little bit longer. 40 days in August, September went down to 39. To me, that's kind of flatline, but we can see year over year, it's gone up from a year ago. We're at 25.8% more time on the market. I want to just also say 39 days on the market is a seller's market. Okay, when we get to about 3 to 4 months, maybe 4 months, we're at a normal market, buyer, seller, healthy market, fair play. And when we get to about 5 to 6 months, now it's turning into a buyer's market. But 39 days, solid seller market. That's an indication to you buyers, it's hard to get the good deals out there. All right, and then average showings to contract year over year, it's gone up. It's the same thing, it's taken more days for a house to get under contract. With more days comes more showings. For the homes that are selling really, really fast, though, that just means they're getting more showings in that same time frame. And I am still seeing homes getting multiple offers. I just put a listing out there. It had, I can't remember how many showings it had, but it had 17 offers. Obviously went over list. I'm not going to disclose which listing it is because I put several out there, so try and guess. So it is still definitely happening. I had several listings that got multiple offers. Buyers are out there, and when the house shows really well and it's priced right, buyers are going to fight for that house. So I hope your ears are perking, Mr. or Mrs. Seller. That is a possibility. Okay. Average showings per contract for September, the number of showings has gone down, not as many showings. But remember, we saw in the previous charts, I'll just bounce back to it. We saw the market time has remained the same but we are seeing that sale price is still climbing. All right. Market time stabilized. It hasn't gone up in time, but we're still seeing a drop in the number of showings in September. So that means not as many buyers may be out there, but the houses are still going under market in around the same amount of time. That's great. That's good for you sellers. This information comes from the showing time desk, where I would say 95% of brokerages use to schedule their showings for their homeowners, to make sure that agents are getting in there and the homeowners are safe and secure. So they track how many showings are scheduled every weekend. So we can see a pattern here of, where things were. We saw in August, it was under 3, somewhere, from 2 to 2.5, about averaging how many showings there were per home on a weekend. This last weekend was amazing, going from August 9th forward. I think it's, I got a little typo in there. Sorry, you guys. It's October 6th through October 9th, that weekend, this last weekend. It really jumped up. A lot of showings. So buyers are out there and they are still looking for homes. Maybe it's their last Hail Mary before the holidays kick in, that they want to get in there and lock in their home and get into their home before the holidays start. I know a lot of the buyers that are closing on my listings, that is what they're reporting back to me, that they wanted to be in before the holidays, and enough time to get the home fixed up before then too. Very interesting. So we're not dying here when it comes to how much activity is happening on homes. Now, if you're a homeowner and you only had 1 or 2 showings scheduled, that means maybe your price wasn't spot on and you need to talk to your agent to get that revised. Okay, don't waste your time on the market. Market action index needle is kind of like an overall, like, okay, we looked at the average sale price, we looked at the market time, we looked at how long, how many showings, all the indicators on the market. And this is a summary of that. So on September 5th, it was reported it was at 47, the action index needle, strong sellers market. And now we're at 48. Market's not slowing down. A lot of people are gonna, you're gonna hear the conversations, oh, what's happening in the market? Is it slowing down? This is indicating that it's not. So these are not my opinions, okay? These numbers are pulled from actual data, strict numbers, no funny stuff going on. So if you want to know really what's happening in the market, just keep watching this show. I'm just showing you strict data and I'm helping you just understand what it means, okay? Watch it anytime, be sure to share it with people. All right, let's talk about interest rates. So October 9th, the interest rates are showing at 7.88 for a 30-year fixed, and a 5-year one arm is 6.72. So that is an option for people to say, I'm just gonna borrow the rate for now and build up my equity in the house, and then you can refinance, put more down on your mortgage, and then that will bring your rate down. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and say, do the 5-1 ARM and hope that the rates go down before the 5-year term is up. I don't even hear lenders suggesting this to their buyers because their borrowers, because they're like, they don't want to set up false hopes. So you could do the 5-1 ARM, but do it with the intention of, I'm still going to be saving a lot of money. I'm going to be able to put more towards my home, but I want to buy a home now while I can lock in a lower price on my home. And then in the next several years, I'm going to still be able to bank together some money, and the home value is going to go up. So when you refinance it, let's say in 4 years from now, that value is going to be higher. Now you have built equity in it. You refinance your home, put a little more into that refinance mortgage. You'll get your rate down then, and then you'll get your monthly cost down. So it's really the best of 2 worlds if you decide you want to go that route. That way you lock in your purchase price today at the lower price versus waiting 2-3 years. Now you're shopping the same size house for a higher price. Mortgage rates are not expected to go down. Okay. So that 5-1 ARM could be an option to say, all right, here's a way to tweak down my interest rate, keep that monthly down, and then I'll refinance later when my house is worth more. And but you always have that risk of rates might be higher. I've heard it might go to 9. I mean, we don't have a crystal ball here, but I have heard it might go to 9. And the pattern is showing it's moving that way, because people were freaking out when it was at 6. Okay. And then when it was at 6.5, and then at 7. And now we're looking at a 30-year fix at 7.88. Now, of course, each borrower's individual case may be a little different, depends on how much you're putting down, what your credit score is, what your debt to income ratio is, what your interest rate personally will be, but this is just showing an average. Okay. So I'm just focusing on averages. The averages are based on probably, the average profile of a borrower, their income, debt to income ratio, all that stuff. And we're seeing the average going up. All right. Right now we see it 7.4 for September 9th versus, well, no, October 9th is 7.8. September was 7.4. So that's what I'm talking about. It went up. Okay. So how a homeowner net worth grows with time. These are just little factual things I like to put together for you. We saw since quarter one of 1991 to quarter two of 2023, home values went up 297.7%. That's with you just continue paying that same mortgage, principal and interest over time. Your equity in your home has gone up. Okay. I know some of you complain, yeah, well, our taxes go up and stuff. Well, so do rents, and a lot faster than your taxes are going up. Let's hope the taxes don't skyrocket. But, and that's an investment in your home. It's an investment towards gaining that equity. The equity outruns, the small teeny increases in your property taxes. Okay. And, of course, property taxes gets you a lot of benefits, greater schools, better community, depending on where you purchase. If you want super, super low taxes, then don't complain about the bad schools. On average, people who bought homes 32 years ago have seen their home values nearly triple over time. That's a really simple way of looking at the 297.7%. It has tripled in 32 years. So every 10 years, you're making 100% on what you put into the house and what your house value was. That's fantastic. Okay. So for all of you out there renting and thinking, well, I don't want to buy because the interest rates are high, I would recommend jumping in now versus waiting, because the rental rates are just continuing to go up. We're going to start seeing a bigger and bigger divide between people renting and people owning. If you get trapped into renting, it's going to get harder and harder to get out of that, because your rent rate's going to keep going up, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder to set aside money towards your next purchase. So I highly recommend look into purchasing a home now. If your credit score meets that absolute minimum, I believe it's like at 640, you can get a loan. I recommend talk to a lender. If you don't have any lenders that you trust, you can reach out to me. I have plenty of lenders I can lead you to that can do a good job helping you out, getting fully informed on what your options are. So interesting, 76% of respondents said they believe buying a home is a safe investment. I'm glad to hear that. That's fantastic news. So wonderful information. I'm going to skip to the next slide. Home prices are not falling. Yeah, I know I keep beating this into you guys, but I just feel like facts are always helpful. These are just opinions from Zillow, Black Knight, Freddie Mac, what their opinions are. And we can see across the board, all of them feel that going forward, home prices aren't falling anymore. The surprisingly quick recovery suggests that the residential real estate downturn is turning out to be shorter and shallower than many housing economists expected. And this can go back to when I showed a slide a while back about historically, there were 6 where we had the economy was not doing well. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain stroke here. And only 2 of those economy challenges that our country had, of the 6, only 2 of those occurrences, home values went down. And of the 2, one of them, it only went down like 1.8% in value average. And the other one went down to like almost 10. That was the great drop in the market. And that was based on really bad mortgages. Remember earlier, I said, when there are just a lot of distressed mortgages, then home values go down. And there was a ridiculous amount of distressed mortgages in that 2006 leading 2008 timeframe, where it just imploded. But that's because lenders were doing no doc loans, and even a dog got a loan. Yeah, that's scary. All right, so we are in good shape here with home prices. They are going to continue to slide up. If you are a buyer, again, please don't get yourself priced out of the housing market thinking the prices are going to go down later. You're going to be really sad that you made that decision. If you go onto my site and register at that number, this is what you're going to see on the screen. Just add your email and cell phone number. We'll get you hooked up with a lot more information. Don't worry, we're not going to nag you with calls and email or text and all of that. It's just a way so that way our system knows to keep sending you a monthly newsletter, and you have access to a lot of information just by your own direction. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that. I don't want to be deceptive or anything. Okay, this is all open book here. And this is what you're going to go to when you do register. You'll get to see a market report. You can type in whatever zip code you want. So if you don't want to call me, no problem. That's okay. Just type in the zip code in that field box right here. And when you first you got to do this page here, register, give the email, cell phone number. Then when you get to here, it'll bring you to this page. Just put in the zip code where you live. Okay. If you are in the Illinois, Chicago area, it will generate a market report for the town that you were inquiring about. So if you want to keep watching, tracking how that specific zip code is performing, just register and you'll be able to get this information. Don't worry, we won't nag you. Okay. I just like getting lots of information out for all of you because that's what you're coming here for, right? Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Again, here is my information. You know how to reach me. I appreciate so much that you're coming out to watch my show, or I won't say coming out, but joining into YouTube and watching my monthly update show. You got the idea of how I structure it. It's going to be the same every month. I'm going to keep updating the information because, it keeps changing. The market is like an ever-flowing river. It keeps changing. So, you can't watch this 3 months out and think it's the same market. It could be changing. So that's why I decided to do a monthly report. Hope you enjoyed the information. If you did and you think it's valuable to other people, please share this show with other people subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to put in a greater effort to try and upload as many information videos about the Naperville area so you can keep watching and getting more information that you find useful for your own personal needs. You have a fantastic day, and I hope you have a wonderful week as well, depending on when you're watching this. Have a great day. Bye-bye.